So what is AI ethics? AI ethics has become a blanket term to really describe all the different ways in which AI systems can create harm or create unintended consequences for groups of people. And I like to think about it in the context of three buckets. So I talk about AI ethics in the context of data, models, or math, and people. So data is the most concrete of the concepts, and it's easier to imagine issues of privacy, issues of how data is collected, whether there was consent to use data or not. One of the big stories around the lack of consent is that of Clearview AI. So Clearview AI is a company that was developing some AI solutions for law enforcement. And in order to get the data that it needed to train its AI systems, it just scraped it off the internet. People's family photos on Facebook and social media were then used to train an AI system for law enforcement purposes. And as you can imagine, people weren't very happy about that. And the whole issue went to court. And since then, many organizations, many police departments are not using that particular technology anymore. And so there's a lot that can happen when you're developing AI and taking it in directions that people find unethical. Those are some of the issues when it comes to data. When it comes to models, there are also ethical considerations to take into account. And Cathy O'Neil probably said it best when she said that models are opinions embedded in mathematics. So there is this veneer of objectivity that happens when you build a computational model for AI purposes. But really what's going on are a lot of decisions, a lot of design decisions about what kinds of weightings to tune up and what things to scale down, what kind of algorithm you're going to choose to solve your problem, what kind of problems you're going to solve in the first place. All of those things have politics informing them. And these decisions then are encoded with values, and that makes the technology not neutral. And that's some of what we talk about in the course, is just how all those values get encoded into a technology and what you can do to mitigate some of that. Because once you've encoded these values in a technology, that can lead to bias, it can lead to discrimination, it can lead to some pretty harmful outcomes. So that's the models piece of AI ethics. The last piece of the puzzle is about people. And I've been alluding to people all the way through, but there's also different actors that come into play that go beyond just the people who are making the technology. For example, there's the people who fund a particular piece of technology to be developed. And what that looks like in terms of technology is that certain technologies get a lot of attention, they get a lot of funding, they get a lot of support, and other technologies don't. And so it really kind of steers things in a certain direction. And I always talk to people about agenda setting when we talk about AI ethics. And agenda setting and power tend to go hand in hand. So those who have power are able to set agendas. And that's what that looks like. So that's kind of that third piece of AI ethics. So really to sum it up, AI ethics really is about data, it's about models, it's about people and power structures.